Okay, so I'm Gabby, or Gabrielle Moore. I'll be 35 this year. We've been married for 15 years as of 2 days ago.
This is Zinni Productions.
So I just want to let y'all know that for whatever reason, there was a technical difficulty where the iPad did not record our voices on the FaceTime that I was screen recording. Don't know how that happened, but now I have fixed that issue. But during the midst of the actual interview, none of the voices were recorded. But some still told me to record on my actual camera. So I did get at least 20 to 30 minutes of the voices recorded. This interview was originally 1 hour and 11 minutes, but I only got between 20 and 30 minutes recorded on my camera because my camera stops recording between 20 and 30 minutes. That's the way the camera works. So I wish I could have seen the entire or heard the entire interview, but hopefully we can get some things going on in the works. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. I'm the one and only Mrs. Rhodes-Wilson, and you have entered Mom Chronicles 2.0, produced by Zinni Productions. This here is momzsweetea. Just because it's tea does not mean it's gossip. Hey, y'all, I am bringing some of my favorite people who have been married for a long time. And as y'all know, I've been getting more into my marriage content, and this is not going to be traditional marriage content where I sit in front of y'all and I tell y'all don't cheat, get y'all finances together, and love each other. That's not what this is about. So, I am interviewing the Moores, which is Gabrielle and Marlon Moore, who we all grew up in the same town, which has been Harbor, Michigan. Shout out to the Harbor. That's where our bloodline run from. So that's how we know each other. We went to middle school, high school together. So we've known each other for
Forever.
20 plus years at least. But they got some veterans a little bit. I don't want to say they're OGs because they're not that old, but they definitely been in the marriage game and the love game for a long, long time. So I'm going to let them introduce yourself. I would like to ask, when y'all do your introduction, say how long y'all been together, including dating and marriage. So y'all can go ahead.
Okay, so I'm Gabby, or Gabrielle Moore. I'll be 35 this year. We've been married for 15 years as of 2 days ago. We actually started in high school our junior year. I was 16. He was getting ready to turn 18. And then we ended up marrying when I was 19 and he was 21.
Sir?
Oh, my, yeah. I don't know what I'm saying here. I'm the husband,
You know, and it's normally us wives, we set and ready, and the husband be like, she got it, like,
right.
You know, she got it. So at least 20 years. Y'all been together about 20 years, right?
Yeah, Jay about to be 18 in a couple months.
So that's a long time for someone that's only like 35 years old.
Yeah.
Right? And the majority of that length of time, y'all have been married.
Yeah.
Right? So y'all got married young. And I know in our community, the moment a 19-year-old girl, a 21-year-old man to them get married, I know our older folks be like, get married. You need to sow your oats. You need to, right? Did y'all get any of that?
Yeah. I had a lot of people come, you sure you want to settle down? No, like I said, but by the time I got married, I was 21, but I was going to the club when I was 16, 17.
Right,
so
right.
All this stuff was out my system, man. You know, I had my son, like, y'all want to, be there like my dad was there for me, so
okay.
I wanted to keep it going.
Okay.
It was a little bit different for me. Petra, you know me. So
yeah.
My family, I was spoiled. They let me pretty much do.
And you were only child, right?
Yeah. So when I said, "Man, I was gonna get married," they was like, "Okay, what are the colors? What time we need to be there? Type of thing." It was more so my girls that was like, "I don't know. We kind of popping right now. You might not want to."
Young, because 19 is definitely a As I think now, my son is only 14. You know, y'all oldest is 18. 19 is still kind of a kid a little bit, you know, even though you're legal, you know, you still a teenager, 19. So I definitely, if my daughter came to me at 19 saying, I'm going to get married, I probably would be like, okay, wait a minute. Let's sit back and think about it. Let's talk about this, right? So me thinking that now at 35, and then Marlon says, people's like, are you sure? You know, you're just 21. Yeah. I know other people outside of like your close people was kind of like, y'all ain't gonna last. That's the next part. Y'all ain't gonna last.
Yeah, they came up, you know what I'm saying?
She 19, you 21. Y'all, I don't care if y'all got a kid. Y'all ain't gonna last.
It was the family though. It was the homeboys and the
It
homegirls.
was the test.
And the outsiders looking
It was on my end. It was a big test. You know, they was homeboys, but they were so used to the Marlon pulling the girls. You know, tell a couple jokes. I'm a reel them in for the homies.
Gotcha.
So it'd be times we go out and they'll try to test and see. You know, oh, he married. Let's see what he gonna do.
Got you.
Yeah, it's just like you know what I'm saying. You got to get past all the little temptation or whatnot, but you know, people will test you.
Got you.
You know
Got you.
In attention, that first year was something that opened my eyes to a lot of people that I thought was real. That you know what I'm saying.
I have to say, a lot of men that are now married say that same statement. They say that first year for them, you know, most of their homeboys or the people that's in their life, they're like, you're not really trying, you know. They kind of second guess the husband, you know.
They know you before you marry. They want you to be out here.
I've heard that a lot. And then from people from different places, because I know, as being from Ben Harbor, we have a certain way of thinking, doing, being. And it could be somebody from Kalamazoo completely different than us because of it's just a Ben Harbor thing. I don't know. It's just a way you know everybody, whatever. And when somebody else, you know, from the outside looking in, like I guess it's just the way who we are. As even today, I'm 35. I'm accomplished in all this. I've been places where I could tell somebody from Ben Harbor from where we from. Mm-hmm. And I don't really know them. I may know their older sister or whatever. So I definitely think it depends on like where you're from too. So one of my first questions for you is, what kind of boundaries have y'all put in place to protect your marriage?
On my end, really, it was a big thing for us when we first got married. Like I said, Gabby was the only child and spoiled.
Yeah.
For her to keep. This is real talk. Like say, you know, we both working, we doing what we got to do, but she like to shop. She'll spend her money. Then she ask me, so I'm like, nah, man, we chilling, and she'll run.
So that's not a thing.
That's a thing. No, but my thing, the biggest thing was running to your grandmother, and they're like, oh, here you go, I sent it, because at that time it made you seem like I'm not doing my job. You know?
I can see that perspective. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Like, and I got to tell her, hey man, don't send no money. She spent the money. I told her don't do it, and you keep sending the money. I'm like, no, I'm doing my part, but y'all giving the extra icing on top of the cake. I don't want to hear nothing about my name being thrown up in there.
That's hard. My mom upstairs now.
Right. So she biased on this. But you know, that's the man want to be like if
you don't want to feel like that you don't want to look like you're not handling your business.
Yeah. So I'm gonna let it be known. Hey, look, she doing this and that. I'm doing my part, but y'all can't keep giving us stuff, and I don't want to hear later on. Oh, Marlon ain't doing it. No, I'm doing my part.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
What about you, Gabby?
As far as boundaries, I think it was being upfront about everything.
Okay.
From the beginning. You know, where we come from, it is small. We had to know, okay, well, this is what I want. This is what I'm interested in. This is how I think marriage should be. I don't know how you think marriage should be, but we need to really sit down and figure this thing out. It was more so trust and just being forthright.
Okay.
From the beginning.
Okay, and that's something because I know everybody's boundaries are different, but what y'all two said is what both of y'all said can go into anybody's relationship. First of all, setting boundaries. That's the first thing. A lot of people don't even know that type of thing exists. And the second thing is making sure you upfront and making sure that if you are gonna be getting money, Gabrielle, that everybody know that Marlon been pulling his weight. Or for an example, whoever that person is, the other person is pulling their weight. I just want a little more.
All right.
Just a little more. I just want a little more. That's it. You know.
Right.
And I gotta be honest. It wasn't like that at first. At first, it was like, well, I'm broke, and yeah, he did this, but now I don't have this, and I feel like it was always, and I'm gonna be honest, it was about me for so long. It was really hard for me to my husband, not just me, but us type of thing.
Ooh, yeah.
It was about me. So yes, I loved him, but if I'm not getting what I want, like, I'm gonna kick, shout, and I don't care about how he feel about it because I got what I want.
Man, I'm gonna be honest. It's definitely taken me a long time. I'm not the only child, but I was raised as the only child. My brother's 7 years older than me, so it was always me. My brother was a gang member, so nobody was, putting no eggs in his basket. It was always me, me and me. Yeah. So even now, like, if it's something I really, really want, for an example, we've been eating healthy. I've been like, we should just go ahead and get this pizza. It's late. Just go ahead and get this. He's like, no, I can make some. No, that's gonna take too long. Just go ahead and get the pizza and the breadsticks because we need it.
We need it.
And then if he say, like, contradict that, I'm gonna be like, see, that's what I be talking about, right? I'm gonna turn it like, because I'm not getting what I want. So I definitely understand that, and I appreciate you being transparent on that, because especially in Black marriage, people do not understand how important transparency is. And so that's gonna be we roll to my next question. Like, y'all have children, and I know y'all have a blended family like mine, like I have as well. How important is transparency as y'all are raising y'all family? And then y'all got boys too. So, how important is that transparency factor from from how it was when y'all was dating to 19 and 21-year-old the Moors to 35 and older Moors? How important is that transparency?
I wasn't having it at first. At first, I was like...
Really? Girl, you just threw me off.
At first, and I tried not to publicize it, but again, I felt like these my kids, and this is all that matters for a long time. Okay. I say a few years, but I saw how important family period was to him, and he's like, you've been knowing me, like, you knew about these babies, you knew about these, my children's mother. Like, this is nothing new to you. Like, you need to be a little more reasonable and, do this, because if we're going to be together, like, I have to be in my children's life type of thing. And after about 2 years, when me and the other children's mother weren't bickering and going back and forth and all of that, we kind of calmed down or grew up. Yeah. It was like, oh, okay, I can do this. And everybody knows, little man is my heart. Like, I love my child's other, son or whatever. We started building a relationship, but then we do have 2 children outside of our marriage. And we started to slowly build a bond, with all of them. But he was always there in their lives. It was just me on the back end, like, with the grit, type of thing, like, why I couldn't just be the only one type of thing. But that's not how the cards were. So exactly, 19, 21-year-old me is way different than the 35.
And you know what, now I'm not gonna say you live and you learn, but I appreciate your transparency, because we don't, in our household, it's just us, unfortunately. So we don't get no communication, from the other side. Mm-hmm. So for us, our son is he don't feel like he missing out on it, because I've been with my husband since my son was 2. So it's more like, I ain't missing, like, what more could I be getting? Because I have a father. So it's definitely dope that y'all have been able to come together, because a good blended family definitely rocks. I mean, it definitely rocks. My uncle has 7 children, so he's been currently married to his wife for like 32 years, and his other children, which they're like in their 50s, but their mothers come around, and my auntie and them, they like, I'm not gonna say they sister wives, but they close.
Right.
And it's been like that for years.
I believe it gets after you get to that point, like, all right, they're not trying to do nothing. There's nothing slick going on.
Yeah.
It's still fresh. When me and her got together, it was still fresh. I left one relationship and got with her. You know what I'm saying? So it's still fresh, and like I say, feelings still there. So it's gonna run.
Yeah.
So,
and then being 19 and 21, or originally y'all started when you were like 16. We all over the place.
Yeah.
Right? Mentally, physically, emotionally, we all over the place. So no telling what you could or could not do. Right? As a person,
you up in the air.
You up in the air. You really don't, y'all know how we got teenagers. One minute they happy, next minute they sad, and it's only because there was no salt on the fries that they got from Chick-fil-A. And it's not really that big of a deal. But what I'm saying is it's just so up and so down at that age. So I definitely understand that, and I'm happy that everything is copacetic, and the blended family rocks. I love having my blended family. I would like for it to be, oh dude, but it is what it is. His fault. But I love that y'all love, Gabby, even though biologically they're not yours, for me, outside looking in, I really can't see a difference, right? I definitely can't see a difference, and I appreciate that, because I know I brought the kid in. I know since Marlon, brought his other children in, I guess I'm like Marlon's. I'm in Marlon's spot, right? So, for me, it was, that kid was with me. So it's either you gonna lay down or you gonna get down or you gonna lay down.
I had patience, like I said, I understood it. I understand how it went. But like, if it was the other way around, I probably couldn't take it.
And so I say the same thing, because when it comes to my husband, I'm the only one that's ever given him children, whatever. So I'd be like, if you had a child,
Yeah, that's different, man. I know how guys think, and I know how guys act. So I'm thinking like how this guy be thinking. I'm like, yo, he want to come get his son at 10 o'clock. I ain't finna roll with that.
So my husband feels that way. Like it definitely was like that for us. We tried to have it where we wanted him. In the beginning, my husband was like, I want him in his life. I don't know what it's like to have a father. My husband's never seen his father, never had a relationship with his father, don't know what he looked like. So it'd definitely be dope if he had two, his father, his other, his stepfather at that point, because that's what we was using, the whole word stepfather, in his life. He's like, that'd be so crazy. But he never picked the bait up, and he didn't want to follow rules. We 14 years in the game, and it's still the same thing. So I definitely appreciate you, Gabby, for being transparent about it, and love how you have. It didn't take you 14 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, we wouldn't have made it. Yeah.
And I understand it, because those are your children, and and
I guess can't walk away and say, hey,
you couldn't walk away. You couldn't.
That's not me.
And I feel like Gabrielle respects that. She because that means. Would you, I wouldn't want you to walk away from mine either.
Right, vice versa.
Right. So,
like the person that'll do that. You know what I'm saying? I can be like, oh,
yeah,
just to have my family.
Yeah. What would you tell your younger self to prepare yourself for a long-lasting, healthy marriage? So, what would you tell your 21-year-old self, Marlon, and Gabrielle? What would you tell your 19-year-old self to prepare yourself for a long-lasting marriage? Not long-lasting. I'm sorry, long-lasting, healthy marriage. Just because it's long, don't mean it's not don't mean it's healthy.
Me personally, I would, thinking back to it, I would knock down her walls before we got married. You know what I'm saying?
That's deep. That's deep.
You know what I'm saying? Like her security blanket. Just knock that shit down before moving on.
That's deep. That's real deep.
Doing that, it's a task. You know, it's like I said, afterwards, you know, you reap all the benefits, but beforehand, everything is second guess. You know what I'm saying?
That's deep.
That's a process, and it took a lot of time. Just, you know, I put in all this work to knock the walls out. Hey, you feel comfortable, feel free, and all that around me, and I know we good. Yeah. But like doing it after you married, it's like, come on, you should have did that before you got married. You know.
That's you're right. You're right. I dig that. I can't act like
It's there. You know, I understand it's there for security, but at the same time, it's like, let me in. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to.
Okay, so just to take for an example, if it's not too personal, Gabrielle, do you know if it, can you give me an example of one of the walls he had to bulldozer down? Or if you can't answer, maybe he can answer if he can remember. Because sometimes, I'll be honest, somebody say something about me, I'll be like, girl, not me. And they be like, yes, you. It's you. Not nobody behind you. It's you. You with the green earrings.
We'll let Gabrielle answer this one.
It's you.
Okay, so I'm gonna keep this transparency thing going. My wall and my blanket is covered with, I'm gonna be me regardless.
Okay.
Because he's going to leave at some point. Like you said with your husband, he never had a father. I didn't either.
I know.
No real man ever stuck around for me. So I'm like, well, he's here. He loves me, but for how long?
So question, does that go into maybe you not having the father figure to kind of teach you how to, I guess, have a relationship, date, the type of situation? Because I've heard some women say like, well, you know, either my father wasn't there or I had a deadbeat father and I wasn't appropriately taught how to.
No, because my father could have been there and taught me those things and still leave.
Okay. Gotcha.
At some point. So I always felt like he's here now. He loves me now. But I need to hold true to who I am. Think about Gabby first before him ever. Because he could leave tomorrow.
Right.
They normally do. So that was a big wall that he had to break down. Like, I'm here. I'm going to be here. You need to stop acting in the manner that you do because it's about us.
Was that on some, I'm a strong woman, I'm independent, I-N-D-E?
Yes.
Woo, when I say my husband be like, you so tough. Now, my husband's never been to Ben Harbor. So
what?
He's never been to Ben Harbor. So when I say stuff, he be like, why do you do that? Why do you... And I be like, it's in me. It's a part of my chromosomes. Like, that's why who I'm not. It's not a negative thing. It's just, that's who I am. And so I have that. Oh, you want to act like, okay, well, I
got it. Because I'm going to get it.
But, you know, that's the man.
It's going to be done.
On purpose. We're here. We're telling you we here. I'm trying
and that's what, same thing.
Like, we're not needed. If you doing it, I got it. Like, all right, what am I here for then? You know what I'm saying?
That has definitely been a conversation. It hasn't been a conversation recently because I made a comment before like, oh, I don't trust nobody. And he like, what? I was like, I don't. Because you could be here today, gone tomorrow, whop the bam, right? And he'd be like, that's not. Okay, y'all. So this is where the volume cut out and my footage continued to record for the video aspect, but there was no voices recorded. And when I tell you, this was such an amazing interview, and I'm so sad that I could not have a 3-part series with the Moors, because when I say they was dropping tea, I mean, just because it's tea, it does not mean it's gossip. And I wear that hat truly. But I again want to thank the Moores for this amazing interview, and how they just really, showed me what true love, true endurance in a healthy, long marriage. Again, they've been together about 20 years, but they've been married 80% of that 20 years, which is 15 years. And this was literally 3 days after they have celebrated their 15-year wedding anniversary. So happy anniversary to Gabrielle and Marlon Moore. Y'all, in real life, the way they are on social media is the way they are in real life. Y'all comment down below if y'all want me to do a updated part 2 with the Moores, which is kind of already in the works. Comment down below, okay? And wish them a very happy anniversary, y'all. Real love, true love, black love. All right? This is Mom Chronicles 2.0. And y'all be sweet. Show the bop.